November 2021, the Georgia Institute of Marketing has approved the bachelor degree in business and management at the VN UK on level 3 qualifications. However, these qualifications are quite new at the VN UK, and we also receive many questions from students about the certificates. That's why we decided to organize this webinar to help you more understand about the CIM, about the qualifications, the values of the certificates, and so many other useful information. So let me show you the agenda for the event. We have 3 sessions. The first session for 20 minutes about the introduction. The session 2 is the presentation from VN UK to show you the university support for students who register for the CIM, and session 3 for 20 minutes for the Q&A. And before we start, I think I really want to interact with you and warm up a little bit by giving out a simple question. How do you think about the importance of international certificates in achieving a good position, especially in marketing after graduation? We have 5 levels here, from 1 to 5. Level 1, it means no important at all, and number 5, it means really, really important. And you have number 2, number 3, number 4 in the middle. And please help us to share your point of view about the importance of international certificates in achieving a good marketing position as a fresh graduate. Yes, please type down your answer in the chat box, and it might help us a lot to understand your point of view. Yeah, and I think we just need around 30 seconds to share with us your thinking. Yeah, we have 5 levels here, and it helps us a lot in understand your point of view. Okay, I think during we wait for students to submit the answer, I will go through some reminders that we have seamless webinar experience. Firstly, today's session is being recorded, and we are willing to share this record to all students and lecturers after the conference. And we also enable a live caption. It means that if you have some trouble with understand our conversation, you just turn on live caption for reference. And during the presentation, please keep you unmute. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat box, and we will answer them in the Q&A session. In case of any technical issues, please give me a signal in the chat box, and we will try to resolve it as quickly as we can. Okay, it seems that more and more students agree that international certificates such as CIM certificates are really important to you, to students. So we really appreciate your sharing, and hopefully after this event, you will have more clues to answer yourself this question and make your own decision. Okay. So I think now we can begin with the first session. Ms. Maureen and Mr. Ian will share with us an introduction about the CIM. Okay, I will over to you, Ms. Maureen.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just going to share my screen with you, so bear with me 2 seconds whilst I do that.
Okay.
Okay, and if you can tell me, can you see a blue screen with recognised degree on it?
I
not
think
at the moment, Maureen.
Right,
yes.
okay, bear with me. Let's try again. Can
okay.
you see it?
Yeah, it works right now, Ms. Maureen. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's really great. Just before I start, thank you very much for inviting Ian and I to your session this afternoon. We are very much looking forward to working with you and the students, and it's very, very exciting that this actually is an opportunity for us to expand in Vietnam. This presentation is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully it will cover some of the questions that you have already raised, but we are very happy to answer questions at the end as well. So I'm going to start off by giving you a little bit of background information about the Chartered Institute of Marketing. We've been around for a long time. We've been around, in fact, for over 100 years, and our purpose has always been the same. It's about supporting marketers at whatever point of career they're at, whether it's like the students here about to embark on an exciting marketing career, or people like myself and Ian, let's just say we're moving towards the latter stage of our marketing career. But we're there to support marketers through hosting events, through our website, where we have a whole range of webinars. We have a mentoring service. We have a CPD, Continual Professional Development Scheme, which actually moves students towards Chartered Marketer, which I'll explain a little bit more about in a moment. So we're a long-established organisation, and we see our remit as being able to represent marketers across the world. We have members in over 127 countries, so both our membership and our qualifications are truly recognised the world over. And as I say, we are the only marketing body that can award the International Chartered Marketer status. And students are able to partake in this CPD scheme towards Chartered Marketer when they leave university. They're able, or when they graduate, they're able to upgrade to ACIM grade, and it requires collecting CPD, Continual Professional Development, for about 2 years, and then they can apply to become chartered. So we were really delighted to be able to recognise University of Da Nang's degree. And what that actually means is that we at CIM have looked at the quality and quantity of marketing in your degree, and we can recognise it and actually are able to grant the recognised status. So that is the logo that you've seen on the screens, etc. And that tells the world that actually we approve and recognise the marketing in your degree. So it's something immediately that you're able to put on your CVs, for example, that not only have you studied a well-known, well-recognised degree, but it's been CIM recognised as well. So what other opportunities of being part of the CIM family does the fact that you're on a recognised degree offer you? Well, first of all, I'd like to be able to just tell you about our CIM Marketing Club. This gives all students on the programme free access to our CIM Marketing Club. This is a series of webinars that actually have been formulated especially for students. We've already had a few this academic year, so we've had digital marketing trends, for example. We had a great one last month on branding. We also had an employability event where a senior marketing manager who started her career as an undergraduate student in Brazil moved to the UK and became a senior marketing manager, and she shared her journey about her hints and tips, her do's, her don'ts, etc. So that might be a really fascinating one to go back in and have a look at. They're all available as recordings. But we've got a programme in the new year starting in January with a speaker talking about sort of insights, serendipity and humour in marketing. And this is free. Students can sign up. I'm just going to go back to my other slide. You can sign up for the marketing club by actually, you can get out your cameras now and actually click on that QR code, and it actually takes you directly to our website where you can sign up for free. You can have access to the previous recordings, but you will also see a whole programme of events that we've got coming up in the new year. If for whatever reason the QR code doesn't work, you can go onto the CIM website, which is www.cim.co.uk. If you look under qualifications, you will see a drop-down box and you will see Marketing Club, and you can sign up there as well. But as I say, the QR code should work. So I really would encourage you, you know, actually get your cameras out now and actually click on that QR code, because as I say, there's material there that will help you with your degree. It will help you with finding a job when you leave your university, but also it will help you with your CIM qualifications if you decide to take them. And this is, as I say, this is an example of the next event that we've got coming up in January. And I believe in February, we've got a great one coming up on sustainability, which is a really hot topic in the marketing arena at the moment. It also gives you access to things like our pitch competition. The pitch competition is a global competition that the CIM runs every year. It's specifically for students on undergraduate programs. It's a global competition. And this year, the challenge has been set by Boots, the pharmaceutical company. And you can go and register your team, and a team consists of anything from 2 people to 4 people. And actually the deadline for registering is coming up. It's been extended to this coming Friday. So you don't actually have to have your solution. You just need to register. So you can do that. And I'd really encourage you to go in and have a look. You can download a pack as a team. The university or whoever can go in and also download a pack there, and it gives you full information about what the challenge is, about the deadlines, etc. And why I would encourage you to look at this is because actually it's something great to put on your CV. I have been a marketer all my life. I think it's an amazing career choice. It's very dynamic and fast-paced, but it is very competitive. And employers want to see people that are truly engaged with marketing and that have actually gone out of their way to do something to demonstrate that they are engaged with marketing. And the pitch competition is one of the great ways that actually you can do that. All teams that are shortlisted actually get to present live in front of the marketing director of Boots, the marketing director of CIM, and the marketing director of Mintel, who provide all the background information. So a really high prestigious team. They all get feedback, which is really, really useful. But as I say, all people that have been shortlisted also get a certificate, and it's something that's really exciting to put on your CV. In fact, when I was a marketing lecturer, I worked for a UK university, and we had a team that entered this competition. And a couple of years later, I met one of the team members and I asked her where she was working, and she was working for L'Oreal as a global brand manager. And I was amazed at how well she'd done. And I said, how did you manage to get such a great position? And she said, well, at the interview was going well, but nothing out of the ordinary. And she said they actually saw that I'd written about the pitch competition and they asked me about it. And she said I was able to talk to them confidently about what I learned from it. And she said they were really, really interested. And from that point in the interview, it went from strength to strength. And she said it was because it gave her the confidence to talk about something that actually differentiated her. So I would really, really encourage you to take up on opportunities like that. So that's free. That's our marketing club. And you can do that today. And I would encourage you to do that. But also, if you decide that you want to take a CIM qualification, or you want to become a studying member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing, you can do that as well. And that will give you access to even more resources. One of the things that I particularly find useful is the number of webinars that it gives you access to as a studying member. We produce some excellent webinars ranging from very specific topics. So we had one the other day on Mackey's ice cream, which looked at the food and drink industry in some detail and talked about sustainability, right the way through to other webinars on much more generic subjects. And also about, you know, health and well-being for marketers as well. So there's an exciting range of webinars every week that you can tap into, and that's so important for students because the very best textbooks, the newest textbooks, are probably about 2 years old on the first day that they're published. Because that's how long it takes to go through the publishing process. So the best textbooks are not going to mention post-COVID, about the logistics nightmare that we're having at the moment, about new platforms such as TikTok, etc. So webinars are a really good way of keeping your knowledge and skills absolutely up to date. There's all sorts of other benefits to being a studying member as well. We have a quarterly magazine. We have a whole repository of which we call the Knowledge Hub, on articles, on research, etc., about anything and everything to do with marketing, which again will help you with your degree and also any CIM qualifications. But also we have things like templates on there, how to conduct a marketing plan, for example. And as things get back to some degree of normality, hopefully we'll be having, you know, other events, other types of events as well. So studying membership is accessible to anybody on the course. There's a specially discounted rate of £65. And the great thing is, as you graduate, you will be able to upgrade your studying membership to ACIM grade as you graduate, okay, for the rest of that year. And that means you've got initials after your name, which is always really, really useful to have on your webinar. On your LinkedIn profile, for example. And also we will send you a digital badge that you'll be able to, you know, pop up on your LinkedIn profile as well. That also gives you access to our mentoring scheme, which is particularly useful as you transition into the world of work, because, you know, actually, I remember my first job, my boss greeting me, shaking me by the hand and saying, you know, welcome to the company that I joined. But he then sort of followed that up by saying, and if it's possible to get a marketing plan on my desk by the end of the week, that would be great. And it was quite scary because I didn't have my lecturers anymore to ask. My friends on the course were by this time involved in their own career. So I actually signed up for a CIM mentor who I was able to ask suggestions and ideas, to show him what I was planning to present, and he was able to ask me loads of questions, and it was really, really helpful. So upgrading to ACIM grade gives you initials after your name. It also gives you access to our mentoring scheme, and it also means you can start your journey towards becoming a chartered marketer. You have to keep CPD, continual professional development, on for another 2 years, and then you can apply to become chartered. Also, through our relationship, you will have access to studying one of our CIM qualifications. Our own research shows that employers like to see CIM qualifications because they know that people actually that have a CIM qualification not only has a great knowledge from their degrees that they have been studying, but also have demonstrated that they are able to apply it into a real life scenario. So the CIM qualifications have been designed to actually complement your degree. And as I say, employers particularly like to see them because it shows that you're able to, as it were, hit the ground running, that you will be able to put into practice everything that you have learned. We have a suite of qualifications. These are them on the screen, ranging from our foundation certificate in marketing through to a sort of senior marketer role at level 7. The level 3, which is the foundation certificate in marketing, is what you will have the opportunity to actually start at. This is a 2-module qualification. Marketing Principles is the mandatory unit. This is an online test, and I'm sure in the next presentation that will be covered a little bit more in detail. Students then have a choice between communications in practice and digital fundamentals. Depending on which of these two they do, you either end up with a foundation certificate in professional digital marketing, or if you do the communications in practice one, you get the foundation certificate in professional marketing. Okay, so you have to do marketing principles and one of these two. Okay, and really it depends on perhaps what you're interested in and where you see your career going as to which one of these two you might want to do. Actually, you could do both in theory and end up with 2 qualifications. So you'd end up with a foundation certificate in professional marketing and the foundation certificate in professional digital marketing. So in order to complete those qualifications, in the next presentation, you'll learn about the cost and how it's possible for you to do that. So I won't repeat that at this stage, but you will, as I say, need to become a studying member. So if you do become a studying member, as I say, just after you finish the course, you will not only have a degree, but also a CIM professional qualification. And even if you don't do the qualification, you just want to take up CIM studying membership, you can upgrade for free by contacting our membership team. They will probably want to have proof that you have graduated from the degree, and then they will upgrade you, as I say, for free to ACIM grade. And as I've already explained to you, it gives you continued access or access to our mentoring scheme. It gives you continued access to things like EBSCO and Emerald and all those facilities that you perhaps have access to now through the university, but you would continue to have access to once you left through the CIM. And indeed, it starts your journey towards becoming chartered marketer as well. And that's it. And Ian and I will be very, very happy to answer any questions that you might have at the end. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. Do have a think about not only CIM qualifications, but CIM studying membership. And today you can join our CIM Marketing Club for free, no commitments, by going back onto that QR code that I showed earlier on. So yeah, please do. I will share these slides for you to have a look at. So do click on that QR code and see how you can join up to the CIM Marketing Club. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for the presentation. Actually, HIuen UK have 2 teams who are already registered for the pitch competition, and they are research the resources packet, and we also share a tutor. A lecturer will become their tutor and have them during preparing for their presentation.
Excellent. Have they registered yet?
Yes, they already have registered and they received a confirmation email from the CIM. Yes,
that's really exciting, and thank you very much. You know, that's fabulous news. So you'll be the first teams from Vietnam to enter. That's really good.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation, Ms. Maureen. And if any students have questions for Ms. Maureen or Mr. Ian, please type in the chat box and we'll be able to answer them in the Q&A session. Okay, and I believe that now students and lecturers have much clear overview about the CIM and its qualifications. And besides, if you are students at the VN UK, you can get a more value added. And so what are the support from the VN UK for students who register for the CIM? Okay, let me share with you by a short, really short presentation. I try to make it clear and short as possible. And if anything requires additional clarification, please let me know. Okay, now I will start sharing my screen. Wait a minute. Let's see. Oh my God, I could not. Yes, so sorry. I use this. Yeah, cool. You see the screen right now, right? Okay. Let me check a little bit. Okay, you see the slide. So, as mentioned before, since November 2021, the VN UK became the learning partner of the CIM, which opens the opportunities for students to get the foundation certificate in professional marketing and digital marketing on level 3. Please note that this level is only valid for in Vietnam for VN UK students. If you are not, you are no longer our students anymore, you might need to relearn all the modules at a qualified study center to get the CIM certificates. So try to make sure that you register for the CIM during your journey with VN UK. So, what are the advantages of VN UK students when registering for the CIM program? There are 4 main things. The first one is module exemptions. The second one is tutoring classes, not only from CIM but also from the VN UK. And the third thing, you get the degree and certificate on graduations. And lastly, we try to create a feasible timeline for you to help you get both degree and certificate on time. So, what does it mean by module exemptions? So, module exemption means that your learning at VN UK is mapping already with what international students of CIM are learning. So you do not need to retake them elsewhere. What you need to do is to register the marketing modules at VN UK as other usual students, enjoy the classes and pass on the examination here in VN UK. After that, you could register to take the global test from the CIM and get the certificates. So here is the student roadmap you can see in the slide. If you want to achieve foundation certificate in professional marketing, you could see the blue line here. You need to study 2 modules, including an introduction to marketing and marketing communications in practice. If you want to achieve foundation certificate in digital marketing, you could see the red line here. You need to study 2 modules, including introduction to marketing and digital marketing. After learning each module in VN UK, you take the global test organized by the CIM. For the first module here, for the module of Introduction to Marketing, the assessment is a multiple choice test, closed book and in controllable environment. For the second module, Marketing Communication in Practice, or the third module, Digital Marketing, the assessment is a written report and you have around 3 months to prepare for it. And here are some important timeline during your journey to get the certificates. Of course, we could have a little changes based on students' conditions. With this suggested timeline, you could gain the CIM certificates within 12 months. From January to April, you will complete the first module of Introduction to Marketing, and from May to September, you will complete the second module You could choose either marketing communication in practice or digital marketing. And then we have around 3 months from September to December, just in case you need to resit the test if you fail for the first time. As you can see, we have some tutoring classes and resources to help students. Our tutor at HIuen UK, besides tutor at CIM, will help you firstly clear understand about the assessment methods of each module. Secondly, the tutor at HIuen UK will guide you what to learn, where to find resources, and instruct students where to take the mock test, the trial test. Also, we will help you to review your essay, your report, before you submit it in the system. Okay, so now last but not least, in terms of fee, HIuen UK have 3 types of fee here. You could see the first one is tuition fee. You need to pay for 2 modules at HIuen UK, and the fee is around more than 9 million VND. And secondly, you need to pay the member fee for the CIM. You need to register for starting a membership, and it costs around £65 for 1 year. And then thirdly, you need to pay assessment fee for the CIM. It is around £110 for 1 module. You study 2 modules in total, right? So you need to pay around £220 for total assessment for 1 certificate. Okay, I'll just go quickly through the basic information about CIM qualifications as support from HIuen UK to help our students to get both degree and certificate on graduations. Thank you so much for listening. And now it's time for the Q&A session.
Would you like to share the questions that you sent?
Okay, I will share the question that was sent to us before the webinar, so we will go through it first.
So Ian and I can hopefully go through those and answer those questions. There were some brilliant questions there, so
yeah, yes, we have some question already here.
Okay, so who should learn professional marketing certificate and who should learn the digital marketing certificate? What are the differences? So that's a really good question. I think it probably depends on where you see your career going, whether you're interested in the more digital side or whether you want to perhaps go down the more traditional side. Both qualifications are equal, so they are both in terms of recognition exactly the same. If you really couldn't choose, you potentially could do both of them. It would mean that obviously there is an extra assessment, but you could end up with both qualifications. Ian, have you got anything to add to that at all?
Yeah, absolutely right, Maureen. I would always encourage anybody at the start of their marketing career now that they need to have digital skills. Going forward, it's going to be essential. Marketing is using digital skills as part of its marcoms, the way that it communicates with its audiences and its customers. So just having the basics will be essential regardless of whatever career path you take. So taking that and the general marketing route would be my suggestion. But if you feel that you want to take the more general route first, fine. But I would certainly encourage you to pick up digital skills at some part in your career.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we have some live questions here already, and I think it's better to answer the live question for participants today. Sure. Yes, we have 2 questions from Miss Tien. Where can students take the online test? So, Miss Maureen, can you help me with this question?
Yes, sure. So obviously, as an institution, we will arrange that with you. It's online. It can be done. Well, there's two ways that we can do this, which we can discuss. You can either arrange for all your students to do it together in a classroom situation, or they can do it remotely. There is an additional cost to do it remotely, but if that's the way you decide to go, then students can do it at any time to suit them, any day to suit them, and they don't have to travel anywhere to actually take the test. There is what we call proctoring fee, which from memory is £45, but it does give total flexibility. Or the institution could decide that actually you're going to do it on a particular day at a particular time, and we can set that up for you.
Okay, I really want to clarify this thing a little bit, because the VN UK really want to collect students in the classroom and have them to create a controllable environment to take the test for the CIM. So what criteria the VN UK should satisfy to become the place to organize the test for the CIM?
So we can take that up offline. It's a case of making sure that you're able to host that by having invigilators, etc. And I can pinpoint or I can give you a link to actually the criteria that's needed. Have you got anything to add to that, Ian?
No, that's right. What we do is set you up formally as an exam centre. We can send you the information and documents, and as Maureen says, she can send you the link which outlines the criteria. It's very much a case of you being able to provide the right classroom environment for an examination, but also the right classroom environment with the right computer facilities to join online. So it's fairly straightforward. We don't usually have any problems with setting centres up for that purpose. And then all the students can sit at your centre. They don't all have to sit the exam at the same time. You can do it in small cohorts and groups. And as Maureen said before, the online examination is available almost any day of the year. There's 3 small gaps of about 2 weeks each throughout the year, which just breaks up some of our more formalised assessment sessions. But otherwise, it's any day of the year and any time to suit yourselves and the students.
Okay, so please send us the qualifications or criteria to become an exam center, I think, as you said. Okay.
We'll get that sorted. There was a question about, can you do a mock test? Yes, you can. And again, we will send you the details of where and how you can do mock tests for the students. So that's good. I saw a question on here, and I can't see where it is now, which asked about how long do these certificates last for?
It says how long does the CIM certificate valid for? And I think one of the questions on the PowerPoint slides relates to that as well.
Yeah, many students really care about the valid for the certificate.
Well, that's really good news, because it's a little bit like a degree. Once you've got that qualification, it's yours forever, whether you decide to remain a CIM member or not. It's just like a degree. Once you've taken it, it's yours forever. So that's really, really good news. And you're sent an electronic certificate, and also you're sent a badge that you can put on your LinkedIn profile. I did see one of the questions that I think were sent previously asked about whether a hard copy of a certificate can be sent. I think the answer to that is yes, but there is a cost to it. And I'm not 100% sure what the cost is off the top of my head. But moving forward, I think electronic certificates are much more appropriate, because employers will increasingly want to see CVs, etc., online. So I think that's that's why we have made the decision not to send out hard copies by default anymore, only on special requests, but there is a cost.
Yes, because in Vietnamese market, people prefer to have the hard copy of your certificates and your degree. Many institutions, many companies, many enterprise under the state, under the government, need the hard copy of everything, every education approved. So that's why students really want to have the hard copy of the certificates.
Okay, it is doable. I mean, Ian, have you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I believe the digital certificate can be downloaded and printed to give you a printed version of that, but the digital certificate itself can be validated by anybody and verified by anybody because it is linked to the validation platform. So using the digital badge on your LinkedIn, your CV, on your application form, etc., the recipient of that can click on that link and it takes them and they get immediate verification. But I understand that some organisations across the globe do prefer a hard copy printed certificate. I believe you can download that, but if you do want one provided by CIM, as Maureen says, that can be achieved. I think there is a cost, but again, off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure what it is at the moment.
There's several questions around, what the pass mark is, etc., and what happens if you fail. The pass, you've got to get 50% or above to pass. Okay. I think the pass rates are about 90% or thereabouts. So the vast majority of people do pass first time. If you do fail for whatever reason, though, there is an opportunity to retake, and you can retake as many times as you want to, but each time the same fees apply. So you would need to be a current member and you would have to repay or pay again the assessment fee of £110. Okay, but just to reassure you there that, actually, if you take advantage of the excellent service that you're offering, and you put in a draft for the assignments, etc., and you listen, then the vast majority of people pass first time. But life happens sometimes, and sometimes, obviously, for some reason or another, someone may fail or may not be able to take the test on the day. It's a case of reapplying at the next session. So hopefully that's answered that question.
Yeah, I notice there's a question that pops links to that as well in terms of can students register for CIM at any stage of their 4 years, any recommended period that brings the best benefits for students. I would suggest that you register with CIM through the Marketing Club as soon as possible, because that will give you access to the information and insights via those webinars. I would take the lead from VN UK in terms of when you're going to study the modules that are relevant to your tests. And as shown on the previous presentation, there was indication that this was starting in January 2022 with your first module assessment in April, and then following on with the second module in May to taking the second assessment in September 2022. So that's probably the best route to take. So I would take the lead on VN UK on that and how it fits into your degree. But certainly engage with CIM as soon as possible, engage through the Marketing Club, and then as you engage towards taking the assessments, you will need to become a studying member. And by becoming a studying member, you'll get access to a greater breadth of information, insights, even more webinars, even more journals and articles, a news hub and an online insight hub called Exchange, which provides lots of different blogs and articles and cutting-edge information provided by experts in the business field and particularly the marketing field, which will always put you at the cutting edge of relevance and currency of how marketing is developing. And this is probably going to help you in your university degree and your studies there, but certainly put you in a much stronger position when you're looking for your first job, because you'll have all that background information to talk about as well, and to take in with you into your first job. It'll be a lot of skills that you'll have developed alongside your degree. So as soon as possible is probably the simplest answer.
But also to say as well, if you've decided not to do, for whatever reason, you're not going to do the qualifications, it's still good to become an actual studying member before you leave university. So maybe even, you know, the month before you leave university, if you do it then, you can sign up for £65, and then as soon as you graduate, a month later or so, you can upgrade for free, and you would have the rest of that year having the benefits of being a CIM member. Obviously, when that year's subscription is due again, it will be at the higher rate of ACIM. You'd have had at least probably 11 months or so at the at that special rate. Okay.
There's a question there. Can workers approach the certificates? Yes, anybody at any stage of their career can engage with CIM at the relevant level of qualification or membership grade that is appropriate to their previous background, qualifications and experience. So right from the beginning of somebody starting out on a marketing career all the way up to senior management, anybody can engage with CIM at any point.
Excellent.
There's another one there. So can they register for membership this year but take exam next year? You need to be a current member with CIM when you take your assessment. So if you became a member now, you would need to take your assessments during that 12-month period that the membership lasts for. Otherwise, you'll have to renew your membership at the end of that 12-month period.
So I think we just go through all the live questions, and now we're back into the questions that sent to us in advance, okay?
Yep, sure.
Yes, for the second question, we already answered it.
Yes.
And now,
yes.
So now it's time for number 3. In case students apply for transferring programs, is it possible to take the CIM certificates, and how to do that? Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean by transferring program?
Yeah. For VN UK students, they can choose some transferring programs. It means that they choose to study 2 years in VN UK, and for the rest 2 years, they move to another university, such as like Aston University in UK, for complete their degree, and they graduate in Aston University and received the certificate and degrees from Aston University. Yes. So they want to ask that if they already apply for this program, 2 years in the UK and 2 years in another country, another university, so it is possible for them to take the CIM certificates.
Yes, the level 3 foundation certificate, absolutely, they can still take that. That's not a problem at all. The question would be whether VN UK would still, even though they're in a different country under a different institution, whether you would still be prepared to actually facilitate that. But as far as we're concerned, absolutely, they can still complete the foundation certificate.
Yeah, just to add to that, anybody can take the CIM certificates. So if anybody changes a program or progresses, as you say, to a university such as Aston University, they can continue taking the CIM certificates. The key thing is they need to be with an accredited study centre to be able to take the qualifications. So if they're with VN UK, and VN UK are supporting their learning towards that assessment, that's fine. If they go elsewhere, they'll need to find a study centre that supports that, so they can prepare them for the assessment. But yes, anybody can take it, regardless of where they are in the world. And it may be that transferring to another university or progressing to another university to complete a degree may be that university is already a CIM accredited degree university, and they may have exemptions from modules from some of the higher levels as well. So perhaps that's a question in the future as those students progress there. But,
okay, so I think it depends on the year they want to transfer into the university, and it depends on the if the university destination university is marked with the CIM certificate or not, right? So I think because for some students, they study with VN UK 3 years, and then last year they moved to others university, and it's okay with us because most modules they are taught in the second year and third year. But for students who just study with VN UK 2 years or less, I think that it is impossible for them to complete 2 modules. You know, so I think they need to study at least 1 module in other university. For example, they study 1 module in VN UK and 1 module in Aston University, for example. Then they take the test organized by the CIM, so the certificate is offered for them, right?
Yes, I think we'd have to look at the details of how it's best delivered. I think if they're registered as VN UK students, you could facilitate them doing it even whilst they're in a different UK university, for example, with Aston University, because it may be that Aston University can't facilitate them doing the second assignment. It would have to come in through VN UK, I think.
Okay, so it we will decide the best plan for students later on.
Yeah, just to add to that, if they take one of the modules at VN UK, as you suggest, that they will gain a certificate for that module. So, for example, if they do marketing principles, they'll get a certificate called the CIM Award in Marketing Principles. That's theirs forever. They can then take the second module whenever it's convenient or appropriate to them in their future studies. It will have to be connected with an accredited study centre.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Thank you for the information. So we have another live question. So might we answer it first about how to level up 3 to level 4 and level 5 in certificates.
Okay, so in my presentation, I showed the whole suite of qualifications. Students, once they've done the level 3, can go on and do the professional certificate, which is the level 4, and they can do the diploma, which is the level 6 qualification. It will be at some point with VN UK, we're going to look at actually at the mapping the certificate and the diploma onto your program. So hopefully by next year, students will be able to do it through VN UK and perhaps even receive some exemptions.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Maureen. And now we move to the question 4 in the list here. And the students asking about elective modules. And could you please clarify it?
Yes, although it says electives, it means it can be a choice out of those 2. So they do have to do the first module, and then they have to do a second one. But the second one is a choice. So I can't even, it's either digital, I can't remember the names.
Digital fundamentals. Digital
fundamentals or the communications in practice. They have to do one or the other of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think there is a lot of this information is already in the roadmap of the level 3, and students could refer this document for further information later on. And now we move to the question 5 relating to the English IELTS test, because at VN UK we already had a mock test for students, and they can use the result of this test to graduate the university at the IELTS 6.5 mock test and all IELTS 6.5 international tests are both acceptable. So what happened if students just only own the mock test at VN UK is a capable at CIM or not, or they need to take further test?
I'll let Ian answer that one.
Right, yeah. The IELTS level which we give is a guideline, and we say 6.5, but the real check is that all the assessments are carried out in English. So the student needs to have the ability to be able to be assessed in English and to respond in English. One of the modules is an online test, so there needs to be a good level of English to be able to understand the multiple choice questions and the alternative options, which can be quite similar in order to challenge the understanding and knowledge of that student. And then the other assessment is a written assignment, so their written English levels need to be quite good as well. So the IELTS level 6.5 is a guideline. We don't monitor or police or check whether the student has actually achieved that, but the student needs to be confident that they are able to take the assessment. If their level of English isn't high enough, it's going to be detrimental to them in the assessment.
So do students need to submit the international IELTS test result before or at the end of the assessment?
It's really just a check for yourselves, VN UK, to check if you feel comfortable that they are able to take our assessments, and also for the students to make that judgment themselves alongside your decision. But we don't check, and it's not essential for them to submit that.
It's a guide. It's purely a guide.
Okay, I see here. Okay, let's move to another question. We already answered these two. So, now the question, because a student could not access the CIM website as a member, so they could not see the process of registering and payment for CIM membership and assessment. So is it possible for you to show students how to deal with your system in your website?
Yes, I've got my system open, so if I could share my screen, if you just give me a second, I'll show you where this is. VN UK aren't actually on the system at the moment, but hopefully they will be in a short period. So just give me a minute or two to play around with my windows and share the screen. Here we go. Can you see my screen there?
Yes, sure.
Great. So if you go to the CIM website and then go to the join button at the top, it brings up this home page, this page. Okay. So click on the join button. It brings up this page. Then click for affiliate studying member. Apply now. It's just taking a little bit of time to whir around there, so hopefully it won't take too long. And this form comes up. The student fills in their details, okay? And then when we come to here, you select study centre. So you just scroll down here. VN UK isn't there at the moment, but it will appear.
It's not on as University of Da Nang, is it?
No, it's not yet either. So you'll scroll down here, find University of Da Nang or VN UK. Once you've selected that, it'll say choose your module. It should come up not applicable because there isn't a particular module, or it might come up foundation certificate, so you click that. And that then takes you to the next step. When you click next step, and I can't do that just yet because we haven't selected the study centre, it'll take you to where you pay, and it'll allow you to pay online the £65. So I'll just repeat that very simply. Go to the CIM website, you click on the join button. Sorry, where are we? I've lost my, I'll go back a bit, I'll go back a stage. So go to the CIM website, click the join button, go to affiliate studying member, apply now. Fill in all the details, just like any application form. Select your study centre, click next steps, and then that takes you to where you pay.
And hopefully University of Da Nang or VN UK will be up there. I sent an email just again half an hour ago saying this needs to go up urgently, so hopefully it'll be up by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just curious what is the payment method for students to pay for the assessment or a membership fee? Because you know, the payment methods in UK and in Vietnam, there are some differences, and maybe students see some difficulties when give payment. So can you give more details about how many payment methods you offer and what are they, and then students can choose the best one for them?
The simplest payment method is to pay it online, as I suggested, and you can pay it by a credit card or a debit card, and that will be through that online system. You can do that for the studying membership. Once you're a studying member, the student will then have the option to set up an individual portal called My CIM, and once that's set up, they can go in and they can register for the assessments. It'll give their history of membership and assessments as they progress, so they can do that through that portal. And again, they can register online and pay online via a credit card or debit card. If they don't want to do it online, they can phone CIM and pay over the phone. And so those are the two main methods that we seek for payment.
Okay, I think credit card is okay for students. It's the best way for students to pay for the tuition fee as well as membership fee or assessment fee here. Yes.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Maureen and Ms. Ian. I think we go to the last question for this Q&A session today. It's really my pleasure to have you with us today. And thank you all students and all lecturers from the IBM department for attending today's meeting.